Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Hidden Korea. Tonight, we take you to the glamorous heart of the French Riviera, where elegance met pure fire on the red carpet. Under the glittering lights of Cannes, Chae-min and Yoona stole the world's breath away, not with words, but with one breathtaking moment that no one could have scripted. When Chae-min wrapped his arm around Yoona and the two began to dance, the cameras froze, the crowd gasped, and the internet simply exploded. Was it planned? Was it real? Or was this the spark of something far deeper than anyone imagined? Stay with us, because what happened that night in Cannes is more than a story, it's a sensation. Let's dive in, right now. The French Riviera had never seen a night like this. The golden sunset bled into the Mediterranean horizon as the 78th Cannes Film Festival reached its peak, a night that promised glamour, elegance, and artistry. Yet, no one knew that within those polished marble halls and under the countless flashes of cameras, two names would soon ignite a moment the world would never forget: Chae-min and Yoona. At first, it was just another red carpet event. The air buzzed with champagne laughter, the shuffle of couture gowns, and the glint of diamond chandeliers. Yoona, radiant in a flowing silver gown that caught every glimmer of light, moved like water, calm, effortless, ethereal. Her every step was poetry, and every gaze followed her. Not far behind, Chae-min, sharp in a classic black tuxedo that accentuated his quiet charisma, walked with that unassuming confidence that comes only from someone who doesn't realize how magnetic they are. They weren't scheduled to appear together. In fact, the organizers had carefully arranged separate entrances. But fate, or something far more unpredictable, had other plans. Yoona stood at the top of the red staircase. The crowd roared. Flashbulbs fired like lightning. He smiled politely, turned, and then, through the blinding lights, he appeared. Chae-min. Their eyes met for just a second, and something invisible yet undeniable shifted in the air. He walked toward her slowly, his hand slightly raised, not as a co-star, not as a colleague, but as if he were approaching someone he'd known long before the fame. Murmurs began instantly. Are they together? Is this a PR stunt? The reporters adjusted their lenses, fans screamed. Yoona hesitated, her heartbeat quickening. And then, almost instinctively, she took his hand. The crowd gasped. And then, to the astonishment of everyone present, began to swell from the orchestra nearby, a slow, haunting waltz that filled the air like smoke. Without a word, Chae-min pulled Yoona closer. She didn't resist. Under the golden glow of Cannes grand lights, the two began to dance. It wasn't choreographed. It wasn't planned. But it was perfect. Every movement told a story, his hand at her waist, her fingers brushing his shoulder, the way her gown fanned around them like silver flame. The world seemed to stop spinning. Reporters forgot to take pictures. Even the waves from the nearby sea seemed to hush as they moved in flawless rhythm. Two silhouettes caught between elegance and wildfire. The crowd erupted into applause before the dance had even ended. People screamed their names. Hands were lifted. Hashtags began to trend in real time. Yoona Cannes Chae-min Dance Cannes 2025 explosion. When the music stopped, they froze, eyes locked, breaths short. For a moment, the universe felt smaller. Then, breaking the spell, Chae-min gently bowed, his hand still around hers. The cameras exploded once more, and Yoona, cheeks flushed but composed, smiled the kind of smile that hid 1,000 unspoken things. Within minutes, that 90-second dance became global history. Across social media, the footage went viral in over 30 countries. Fans called it a dance that stopped time. Critics labeled it a masterpiece of unscripted romance. Behind the perfection of that moment was chaos brewing, because what the world saw as magic, others saw as betrayal. Erupted. Are they dating? Wasn't Yoona involved with someone else? Why did he break protocol? Every entertainment agency and Seoul scrambled for statements. SM Entertainment released a brief message. An artistic gesture, spontaneous and respectful. Please refrain from speculation. The world didn't want explanations. It wanted drama. And soon, drama arrived. By midnight, journalists discovered that Yoona and Chae-min had arrived in Cannes on the same private flight. The revelation sent shockwaves across Asia. Photos surfaced, grainy images of them boarding at Incheon, sitting side by side, her head resting near his shoulder as they laughed. Fans screamed betrayal. The media demanded truth. Yet, both stars remained silent. Inside her hotel suite overlooking the Mediterranean, I stood by the window, the city's reflection flickering on her face. The phone rang non-stop. She ignored it. When the door finally opened, Chae-min stepped in, his jacket off, his expression unreadable. "You didn't answer," he said quietly. "Didn't know what to say," she replied, her voice almost trembling. "They've turned it into a storm." He stepped closer, the faint hum of the sea filing the silence. "Then let them," he whispered. "We didn't do anything wrong." For a moment, the world outside didn't exist. Them, two people caught in something bigger than themselves. The cameras might have stolen their dance, but they couldn't steal its meaning. But the next morning, everything changed. A headline appeared across major outlets. Exclusive, Yoona and Chae-min, secret relationship hidden for months. Below it were photos, private ones. At a restaurant in Seoul months ago. A shared glance backstage during a drama shoot. A photo of Yoona wearing the same bracelet Chae-min had once been spotted with. Someone had been following them. Watching. Waiting. And now, the secret was out. By sunrise, Seoul was on fire. News stations ran special segments analyzing their every move at Cannes. Fans cried, agencies panicked. Entertainment industry held its breath. Chae-min had gone from rising star to international phenomenon overnight, but with that fame came fury. The younger actor's management scrambled to control the damage. Close friends, they insisted. There's nothing romantic. But few believed it. The dance had looked too real. History too raw. Meanwhile, in France, Yoona was trapped inside her hotel, unable to leave. The paparazzi surrounded the entrance, shouting her name. She sat on the edge of her bed, scrolling through the chaos, hashtags, theories, hate, and love mixed in a digital hurricane. Her phone buzzed again. It was Chae-min. "Meet me on the terrace," his message read. Hesitated, then stepped out into the cool morning air. The Mediterranean stretched before them, infinite and calm. Already there, leaning on the railing, looking like he hadn't slept. "You shouldn't have come," she said softly. He turned, eyes tired but unwavering. "If we hide now, we'll never stop running." From what? From being human. The words hit her harder than she expected. He wasn't the boyish actor everyone thought. There was steel in his voice, quiet defiance. Then he reached into his pocket and handed her something small, a folded piece of paper. "They were going to release this next," he said. Unfolded it. Her heart sank. It was an email, a confidential exchange between two media executives, detailing how the Cannes dance had been leaked ahead of time to manipulate global coverage. It wasn't a coincidence. It was a setup. Someone wanted them exposed. "Why?" she whispered. "Because nothing sells like forbidden perfection." He replied bitterly. "They made us into a story before we even lived it." Before she could respond, a sharp knock echoed from inside the suite. Voices, urgent, harsh. Their teams had arrived, demanding immediate statements. Chae-min gave her one last look. "Whatever happens now," he said, "don't let them rewrite what that dance meant." He left through the back exit minutes later, vanishing into the chaos of Cannes crowded streets. Evening, Yoona finally appeared before the press. Cameras clicked like on fire. Her expression was calm, her posture regal. But her eyes told a story no script could contain. When asked about the dance, smiled faintly. "It wasn't planned," she said. "Some things aren't meant to be. They just happen." Words went viral instantly. But what stunned the world wasn't her grace, it was what happened next. Chae-min posted a message on his social media. "It wasn't just a dance. It was the first time I stopped pretending." The internet imploded. Within minutes, the post amassed millions of reactions. Fans across Asia lit up timelines with fire emojis and broken hearts. Some called it reckless, called it brave. But everyone agreed, no one had ever seen a confession like that on the global stage. The next day, Cannes awarded Yoona a special honor for her contributions to Asian cinema. As she walked the stage, applause thundered, but her eyes searched the crowd, looking for someone. Near the back, hidden among the photographers, stood Chae-min. He didn't smile. He simply bowed his head slightly, a silent acknowledgement. Then, like a dream, he disappeared again. Weeks later, when the festival ended and the world moved on, Rumors claimed they had met one last time, in a small cafe near the Seine River, away from cameras. Away from the noise. A waiter recalled seeing them sitting side by side, hands touching. Saying little. When they left, they took nothing but a folded napkin with 2 words written in ink. Ours. No one ever confirmed this story. But every time people replay the dance from Cannes, the fire, the elegance, the raw emotion, they say you can still see it, the truth of 2 souls caught between art and reality. Between duty and desire. Because that night, under the glittering French lights, Chae-min and Yoona didn't just dance, they reminded the world that even in the most controlled industry, art has no script. And the world is still watching. And as the final lights of Cannes fade into the night, one truth continues to shimmer: some moments aren't performed, they're felt. For a fleeting heartbeat beneath the French stars, Chae-min and Yoona turned a red carpet into a stage for something raw, unscripted, and real. It wasn't just a dance. A collision of elegance and fire, the kind that burns long after the music ends. Perhaps the cameras will chase them forever. Perhaps the world will keep guessing. But that night, when their hands met and the world held its breath, something timeless was born, a memory too human to ever be forgotten. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us tonight on Hidden Korea. If this story captured your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold moments, hidden emotions, and unforgettable truths from behind the spotlight. Next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and always look beyond the glamour.